So in many ways, I think case study is such a major pedagogical methodologies in executive education. And here at IMD, we use a lot of case studies in order to put our participant in the spot of a decision maker into different contexts of the industry so that they're getting into a habit of making important strategic decisions. So this is why developing case studies is always a major activities here at IMD. And winning a case competition really is a recognition of the quality of work that we thrive and try to achieve. And on top of that, writing a good case study oftentimes would stimulate new research pathway. So from both pedagogical approach as well as staying on the frontier of research topic, case study is important, and getting recognized for our activities and effort is a major honor for our whole team. In many ways, Recruit Japan really epitomized an innovative organization trying to constantly reinvent itself. And it started off as a classified post type of organization, publishing house, and eventually moved into this internet-based service provider. And in many ways, because of the openness of Recruit as an organization, it really allowed us to have in-depth conversation with managers across levels and functions, and even interviewing some of their customers. So the type of access that we are so privileged to have really allowed us to develop a much stronger storyline, and as a result, I get to learn a lot more, as well as developing new framework informing management literature in general. No doubt, a cultural gap is oftentimes a challenge when we try to do field work. I think there are a couple of things. One is we are fortunate enough to have translator conducting simultaneous translation, but it's also the patient from our informant. They take good care to explain to me in terms of the context of the conversation. And last but not the least, we had one of the local colleagues who constantly tell me about the cultural norm so that I don't commit any faux pas in the social situation. I interpret question in the right way and also make my informant or interviewees comfortable so that we can have a frank and honest and open conversation. I think the context itself really is useful in the sense that a lot of companies these days are confronted with digitization and its challenges. And particularly a lot of organizations may not be technology creator. Many of our clients or executives are not managers from Google, Facebook, but they belong to a world where traditional manufacturing or traditional service provider have to transform themselves in order to stay relevant in the marketplace. And what makes this case particularly interesting is it resonates with others in terms of the size of the company as well as the root of the organization. So it makes the classroom discussion much more relevant to our participant at large. I think it's very important to develop a point of view about the organization before you go in depth to the field research. I mean, it's one thing to keep an open mind to let the emerging evidence and collect them, but constantly I think as we develop a case study, you have to think about in the classroom setting, what kind of theoretical framework you want to illustrate, what type of key takeaway you want participants to walk away with, so that in the interview process, you get to flesh out as much nuance on those dimensions. So in short, I think identifying a key topic is absolutely critical. Finding an organization that a large population of the participants will find it resonating is absolutely important. Keeping an open mind and make sure when you go into field work, the interviewees and the informant would find you comforting and trustworthy to share with you the most important information.